The best mindset that you can have when you're going out to approach women is simply success equals approaching instantly. Focus entirely on that. The reason why approaching seems so hard, the reason why sometimes when you get the thought, okay, I should speak to her, and you start overthinking and you don't want to do it, is because we play out the conversation in our mind and we're trying to think, okay, what should I say? How do I get her into bed? What's the highest percentage conversion rate of the thing that I can say? But there's people looking, and we overthink things too much. We simply need to build up the habit of literally just going up to a girl as fast as possible and saying anything with the mindset and the humility to understand that the first tens, if not hundreds of times that we go up to speak to girls, it's going to be pretty trash. You can't expect to walk into the gym and have the perfect gym workout on your first ever session, can you? But that's what a lot of people do. That's what a lot of people who have waited for the New Year's resolutions and everything, they think of the ultimate hardcore workout. And that's exactly why they don't go to the gym consistently, because they've set the bar of success too damn high. When you go out to approach girls, or when you've had the thought to do it, you've set the bar of success too high. For you, the bar of success is, oh, like the number close, and she's gonna fall in love with me. Maybe we can have sex straight away, and maybe we will go on a date straight away, and I've got to be able to be really good. No, you can't expect any of those other things, like the more advanced things, just yet. That's like hitting a PR, that's like hitting 3-plate bench press. It takes time to practice to get to those results. Right now, we need you to just show up and just go speak and say anything to a girl. Just like for the beginner, we need this beginner to literally just show up to the gym. Forget the best workout, just come to the gym. Come to the gym for 20 minutes. You'll make progress. Go outside, speak to a girl, stutter, mess up your words, slur your words, say some random bullshit, doesn't matter. Specifically training the habit of walking up and just saying something is the most important part. That's like the bottleneck that you need to be focused on right now. And imagine that. Imagine training the habit that would allow you to literally just go up smoothly, instantly, and go speak to a girl. But overwhelming, pretty much all the time, when you go up and you speak in like a nice friendly way, she is pleasant. She actually speaks to you with a massive smile on your face. There's barely ever any times of the stereotypical time of like, you'll go up to speak to a girl and she'll be scared and she'll be like ready to fight you. It doesn't happen in real life, bro. Almost every time I go up to speak to a girl, afterwards I just think like, why was I overthinking so much? Your mind overthinks, or what are these people gonna say? Okay, what's the best sentence to use? I'd go up, say something silly, like say anything, and we end up having a pleasant conversation. And even if I don't get her number, even if I don't end up dating her or sleeping with her, it's always quite a pleasant interaction. And I always think to myself, why did my brain overthink beforehand? It's because I have set the intention that the success in this interaction is like me getting the number closed. Success simply equals you going up and speaking to her, saying anything. You need to do that like 100 times first before you can actually get into the groove and get used to this. Then you can start having the better intellectual, attractive conversations. But first, we need you to at least enter those conversations. Get into 100 conversations. Even if the conversation is trash, you've made progress. You've shown up to the gym. Even if the workout is trash, if you've shown up as a beginner, you're making progress. Do not be like that fat 43-year-old Susan who's waiting for the New Year's because she had one workout of like, you know, the body power class where they do like a bunch of fucking cardio and like 50 reps, and she never comes to the gym again because it's too hard. Because success equals going to that class in her mind. For you, success equals having the best conversation. You don't need to know what to say, because even if you prepare the script, even if you know what to say or you don't know what to say, the first few conversations are gonna be awkward, they're gonna be trash. But the guy who's prepared the script will overthink so much more that he'll miss the opportunity of the first few interactions. Whereas the guy who has like the lean startup, like, you know, the hit the ground running type of mindset, he'll go up and breeze through that progress. Forget about everything else. Literally just focus on approaching as fast as possible. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah. You can't be shy around women. You need to grab whatever confidence you have, whatever level of courage that you have, and just take action and say something and be honest that you like this girl. Being shy and being, you know, taking your time with it, it makes you just seem less attractive. And I know what you're thinking, and you can probably relate to, you know, my story. That, oh no, but you know, it doesn't feel right and it's not the right time. I'm going to wait for the right time to say something. But the thing is, when you're like a certain level of guy, when you don't have that much of experience with girls or you're not that confident, you're always going to feel this level of resistance before you're about to like speak to a girl and tell her that you like her. Courage is when you feel that feeling of fear, but you do the thing anyway. You have to understand that you have inside of you this emotion that's telling you like, oh no, but it's gonna be scary if we talk to her. But you can do the action even if you feel this emotion. You don't need to feel absolutely fine to go speak to her. You just need to do the action no matter what you're feeling. Girls are attracted to like courageous, confident guys who, even if they're experiencing some kind of negative, fearful emotion, do the hard work anyway. And you might be thinking, but Hamza, I'm scared of rejection. Well, yeah, of course you are. Rejection is like a totally scary thing, but only really for the first 50 rejections of your life. By now, you watching this, you probably experienced rejection maybe 10 times in your entire life, maybe 20 times. Obviously, like online texting shit, like, you know, some girl that you've never even met before on Tinder or something stops replying to your message, that doesn't count. But like a real rejection of you walking up to a girl, saying something in the sense that you like her, and then her saying, oh no, sorry. Most young guys have only been rejected like 3 times, and it hurts so significantly. But the pain of rejection starts up here, and it goes down dramatically with every single one that you get. And I promise you that any of the guys who are slightly older than you, who are quite experienced with women, and you know, who get like quite a lot of girls, have been rejected by 10 times as many as you can think. Honestly, I may have been rejected by probably close to 300, 400, 500, somewhere around that range in person. In person. To be good with girls, honestly, a lot of it is just quantity. It's just a lot of practice. How is it that girls actually want you to talk to them? They just want you to like be honest and upfront with what you actually want from us. So many guys, especially the younger guys who don't have much confidence, like you go about it in this like just this pussy kind of way where you just kind of act like you don't really like her for what reason? What gain is there for you to pretend that you don't really like her and that you've got no interest in her? You know, there's the kind of cool Chad looking guy who doesn't act but just isn't really that interested in her, and that's kind of attractive. But when it's inauthentic, when you are actually obsessively thinking about this girl and you try and act too cool and like pretend like, oh, I'm not gonna speak to her, oh, like I'm gonna wait till the right time, it's not attractive, bro. And the reason why we do that, the reason why we don't go and speak to these girls is because we're just scared of rejection, because we're scared of like the bad thing that could happen, because we feel quite fearful. You can't be scared of rejection because regret hurts more than rejection. Not speaking to that girl that you randomly see that one time that you could have cold approached hurts more than you just going up to speak to her and her just saying, oh, sorry, I've got a boyfriend. So what should you actually say when you're next to a girl? That you probably already know the advice, oh, you should ask questions and you should be interested in them. That advice is like really basic, and the guys who follow it end up feeling like they're in an interview with the girl. And you probably felt this too. You've probably felt that you've been in this one-sided conversation where you're asking her questions and she's answering, and it just feels like an interview. Maybe she's asking you the question out of like politeness. You say like, oh, what's your favorite type of music? And she says, oh yeah, like drum and bass. What's your favorite type of music? Yeah, well, I really like 90s bro. And the conversation, you know for a fact, is not the kind of one that she's having with Chad. So what conversation are these girls actually having which sexually excites them? And it's definitely not the kind of one that you're having which just feels like an interview. This is exactly what you do. Instead of asking questions and making your conversation with her kind of like an interview, you instead tease her. Teasing a girl is far, far more enjoyable than going through like this dry, boring ass interview questions of like, what kind of music do you like? You tease her in almost like a slightly mocking tone with like a slight insult, but you want to tease her in a way that's quite clearly like not true, so it's not going to hurt her feelings. I know that sort of conventional advice tells you that you should take an interest in the girl and you should ask her about her hobbies, bro. They want you to tease them, to have like a little bit of playful banter, to like play wrestle with each other. They want you to speak about like your work, which you're extremely passionate and ambitious about. Do you want to know one of the single conversations that I've had which has increased a girl's attraction to me to the sky limit? Is with this girl when I told her about my plans for YouTube with my leadership of this movement, and I looked her in the eyes and said that I'm going to the top. Do you want to join me? Well, you don't just ask these little, like, you know, silly questions like, oh, did you do the homework today? What's your music type? Oh, like, just this, like, little weak-ass beta male soy boy kind of, like, conversations. And instead you speak to her like a man. And a man either speaks to a woman with, like, so much ambition and tells her, yes, like, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna be so successful. Or he speaks to her like he's almost, like, playing around with her and he's just kind of, like, laughing around with her. He's teasing her and stuff. He doesn't take her too seriously. Honestly, most of the conversations that I have with my girl, it's just me just teasing her. And that, like, I see her so bubbly, so, like, goofy, so, like, laughing with me. I'm like pushing her onto the bed and everything, and they like that stuff. They don't want to be bored, sat down next to a guy who's saying, oh, what kind of music do you like?